Good morning, internet world, once again. It is another bright and, well, it's not quite so bright and beautiful just yet. It's actually a little dark still. Today I am off to see my good friends at Source Sounds and Securities. They are going to be fitting my dash cam for me. I'm rushing because I want to get stuff done. Cheers. Come on, so much breakfast time. We are going to need the booster board chargers today. We've got some wires to put under the belt, and we're going to need some safety gear for it. Unfortunately, the bag doesn't fit everything in there, so I think I'm going to trade the knee pads for the charger and just have the elbow pads and the gloves today. But some safety gear is better than no safety gear. Let's just hope I don't break my kneecaps today. That would be a real I told you so, wouldn't it? Whenever you're in a rush, you get stuck behind a slow-moving vehicle. I mean, seriously. There's some serious black ice around on the roads, well, I will say that. Also, that moment 10 minutes after you set off on a freezing cold morning with a freezing cold of the sea, and you remember you've got heated seats. Arrived. Thank you very much. Thanks, cheers. So did I even say what I was doing this morning, rushing around to Source Sounds? I got here, I was 10 minutes late unfortunately because there's traffic that I don't normally sit in. Normally I go to work, it's 5 AM, so I don't really get much traffic, but I'm here getting the breakfast, which is a bonus. What I'm doing, today, I've dropped my car over at Source Sounds here. I've got a dash cam which I have fitted in all my cars. I've probably pointed this out on the Mustang previously. And I'm just getting them to hardwire it into the ignition so that all the wires are hidden nicely behind the windscreen and all the trim, because I can't stand wires dangling around everywhere. So it's going to take about an hour to do that, so I thought I'd just grab a quick breakfast, nip down the road. My father lives just down the road from here, so I'll quickly nip down and say hi to him, and then it should be done and come back and have it. So for now I'm just taking advantage of the last mile vehicle, the booster board, which is just fantastic. It's a little bit cold though, it's -2, so I'm taking it very, very steady because it is icy on the roads. While it's grand riding it in a straight line and stuff, if I'm hitting the brakes hard, the torque is spinning up the back wheel, so I need to be cautious of that. But yeah, let's go have some fun on the booster board for a bit. Quick visit, didn't get much filming done unfortunately because if I can just, did I? One of the legs that broke off. That's off my my camera mount thing, so I couldn't actually put the camera down anywhere. So after here we're going to go buy another camera mount. Well, the car's done, I'm just going to get back up to Source now, check it all out, and then we're going to do some more jobs. RLoD camera is on, we're in business. Right, I'm going to go rescue the dog, take him for a walk, and then I'm going to go fix the doofy and whatnot, and then go to the gym. Let's get going. While we're here, look at the gullwing doors on there. on their Golf show car. How cool are they? Fuck me, that's stiff. Oh. Now this is a bit of an odd one. If you watched all the Mustang videos, you'd notice that I always used to put normal or leaded in that. I don't believe there really is an advantage in putting premium in, but because this is such a little tiny spindly engine, I figured that just that little bit of extra help might be worth it in this. The Mustang with its big 5 litre V8 was a big dumb thumping engine. You could have put cooking fat in that and it would have been fine, but I think just because it's a little smaller and it runs on nothing, you know, there's a billion miles per gallon, it's worth an extra couple of pence. Thanks very much. Cheers. So 14 quid to fill it. I mean, I've not done a million miles. I've come from Derby to Sheffield and a few days running around. But I really struggled just to get 14 quid in that. Mileage wise, I've done 86.6 miles. So yeah, I mean, I think it's like 35 mpg, which to say I'm only running around town at the minute and just getting used to the car is pretty good. The Mustang did what, 17, 18 around town, 25 on the motorway. It's always going to be cheaper to run than a Mustang. But yeah, I need to now see what I can get economy wise out of it, because the book reckons it should do about 65 around town and up to 70 on the motorway. So now I've filled it myself from empty, I'll be able to gauge actually what it gets. So just to put into context what I've actually had fitted this morning, it's the RLoD HD dash cam, which is in the smart car now. The unit itself sits just here, just under the black strip there. You can just, well, if you come down, you can just see it poking out from underneath. Two reasons why it's there. Number one, it's a really good angle up there for getting a good kind of vantage viewpoint of the road, left, right, and quite, you know, quite a long distance with it being high up. It's quite a good fisheye lens around. It might just catch a little bit of the black trim in there because of how tight up it is. But the other reason I've got it mounted so high up on the ceiling is a lot of the time when I park the car, you're in a public car park, you know, Tesco's, that sort of thing. It's out of the way there, you can't see it on display. When you look from the front of the car, you can barely see it. If you have it mounted down here, where a lot of people have sat navs and stuff like that, obviously it's a big, you know, it's something somebody can steal. Now the camera's hardwired in, so it's always live. On a night when I park up at home, I disconnect the power and take the unit off, because obviously I don't want it sat there all night. But if you're just walking past the car now in a car park, you'd never know it's there. And that's really one of the more important factors, that, you know, not knowing it's there for one thing. If somebody reverses into your car in a car park, generally what happens is they look around, if no one's there, they get back in and they drive off. You've lost out because you've got a dented car and you have to either pay for it to be repaired yourself, or you go through insurance and your insurance goes up next year, and you know the story. So the dash cam just gives a little bit peace of mind that I know when I park up somewhere, if I come back in the car's dented, chances are, you know, I've got the footage. So anyway, that's what I've been doing this morning. I'm now just about to pick up some lunch. I'm going to go to the gym. Lunch will be after the gym. I'm just picking up on the way. A bit of a workout, and I'm going to treat myself to a jacuzzi today because I've got the afternoons myself. There's no one around. Why not? It's always nice to have a jacuzzi. So, gym bound again. Now for that all-important well-earned jacuzzi. So that is it for today. I've not really got much else to do except for fix the tripod, and that's the other side of Sheffield, and I really want to get home and start doing dinner. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for today and just head home. Maybe in another 5 minutes time though. Alright, that's that part of the day over. Just heading back to the car now. One thing I did forget to mention I was going to do today. Where's the car gone? I'll park right at the front, Christ. Somebody mentioned yesterday in the comments section about the booster board and the red light of death issues. Now, if you've got a booster board or you're looking at getting one and you're on the Reddit forums, I'm sure you know exactly what red light of death is. If you don't, if you're not bothered, skip forward probably the next 60 seconds. So I'll just quickly talk about the red light of death. So what the red light of death is all about really is the board not functioning. On the on-off switch on the board, which is here, you've got a series of lights. You've got the LED battery indicators there, each one being 20% of the battery. If it's flashing, it represents 10%. So my board's currently got 100% battery. And then when you turn the board on, you've got a green light. Now what's happening when people are riding the board's disconnecting, the remote's going nuts, it's beeping and it's stopping working, and that light's going red, those ones are flashing red, and basically it's buggered. Long and short of it, from my understanding, is there's possibly some connection issues between the new battery and the board. Boosted have changed the way this board's set up. The wires that go from the battery pack at one side to the motor at the other side are now integral within the board, whereas on the version 1 board they used to be on top of the board with the grip tape covering them, so you could see them once the grip tape had been pressed down a little while. On this one they've apparently cut grooves into the board and sunk them in it, which is great. Aesthetically it looks a lot better. Whether or not it's causing any issues, that's yet to be seen. And also the battery is now detachable. You can remove these 6 screws here, and then the casing comes off, and you can take the battery pack out, unplug it, and drop in a new battery. That light is actually green, it just looks very orange on the camera. So you can swap the battery out, put a new one in, which is great. If you've got a backpack, you can take one with you, a bit longer range, without having to take the charger and find the charging port. Another issue that probably brings up is that having connections in there, it's possible for connections to come loose. My board's now got about 75 miles on it, and about 7 or 8 miles ago I noticed when I came to turn it off, the light on the on-off light had gone orange. Looking on the Reddit forums, people are saying that's a connection issue between the battery again and the board, and a lot of people are just disconnecting the battery, reconnecting it, and it goes away. Mine seems to be okay once I've turned it off, charged it, and turned it back on again. It goes back to a green light, but after then a bit of riding, it goes orange again. I'm not having any of the red light death issues. It's not flashing, it's not going nuts, the board's not disconnecting, but I'm kind of waiting for that to happen. So Boosted are currently working on the fix. They've had a couple of issues with a couple of the batteries venting, which they're saying is down to water ingress. The new board's meant to be waterproof, so that's a bit of a shame. Maybe quality control's been let down there. But what I'm going to do now, it's currently green. I'm going to take it for a quick run around the car park, bring it back and see whether it turns orange or not. It's doing it 50% of the time. You know that annoying moment when you ride around for a few minutes and you think you're getting some good footage backwards and forwards, and you come back to the camera and you realise you've not started the clock? I haven't started the clock. But anyway, that was a couple of minutes riding, it's still green. We'll do another couple of minutes and see how it is. Okay, it was still green. Let me just show you on the camera if it lights up. Yeah, the light's not very good, but it's still green. The camera's been really annoying actually, both times there. I thought I'd started it, well I did start it again this time, and I came back and it had stopped filming after about 20 seconds, so I don't know if there's something wrong with the phone there. Maybe because I took it in the jacuzzi. It's an iPhone 7 though, so it should be waterproof. One of my other thoughts as well, why the second generation might have some issues. I mean, the first generation could have had these as well, but it's got electrical wires running along. Now, there will be some give in those wires, there will be some slack, but I weigh 115 kilos. Board in the shop, and if you step on the board, I need to stand that way. I don't know why it works that way, but if you see how much flex there is, we have a shot. Now wires aren't meant to flex, so whether that's causing some issues or not, I don't know, but that's the red light of death issue. It's not resolved. I've got a few ideas from my basic knowledge of how engineering works and stuff like that, and electrical stuff. Hopefully it gets fixed soon. My board's still working. Whether or not it's working or not in a week's time, in a day's time, yet to be seen. But it's a lot of fun. Go buy one. I say go buy one, but unfortunately you can't actually buy one at the minute. The Boosted boards stopped shipping them a few weeks ago when the second board started to vent smoke into the guy's apartment. They've stopped shipping all the ones that were pre-ordered, ready for the guys who had ordered them back in kind of May and June time, and they're not doing international shipping yet either. So if you're in the UK like me, it's probably going to be, it could be mid-2017 before they start to arrive. Hopefully it's earlier than that, because there's a lot of guys chomping at the bit to get one, and hopefully they start very soon again shipping them to the guys in the States, because at least that gives a bit of an avenue to ship them yourselves over here internationally. I was just driving down the street. Look at where I've parked. This thing's awesome. This thing can park anywhere. I saw this shop behind me, the party shop, and just thought I'd get something for my little girl, because we're going away in the motorhome for that test night again soon, and I thought they might have something in here to be a bit of fun. Disney's going to keep costing me money for the rest of my life, aren't they? Stay. Stay. So I've currently taken a detour from going home to cook tea. My wife hates the smart car. She thinks it's the most ridiculous thing ever. So what I've done, I've got her spare keys in my pocket. I'm riding down to her work. I'm going to take her car home, and then I'm going to come back for in the smart car. She's got no excuse. Well, she's no other option but to come home with you in the smart car for the first time. So she's going to hate me. I'm going to park in right outside work and take her home. Other bonus, I get to have a ride through Sheffield again on a booster board. This is great fun. The university area of Sheffield is packed with people, and the amount of cheers and support you get on the booster board is incredible. So I'm having a great time. So second leg, get her car dropped off and then get back down. I've got 33 minutes. Rush hour's picking up, so should be alright. I should probably also find more to do with my time than wind my wife up, but yeah, what are you going to do? Really nice. You get under a hot chocolate.